St. Vincent, my homeland, you gave me no mansion, no gold, no diamond, yet I love you a million for the things that
Good day.
you have to offer.
My name is Chief Strongblood, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the diaspora machismo. Ebenezer Theodore Joshua was a successful chief minister. He oversaw the construction of the Deepwater Harbor in Kingston, which led to the increase in exportation of bananas to England, and which also led to the increase of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines' GDP. The Honorable Joshua had regional exposure, which he used in the administration of the country's affairs as chief minister. Joshua lived in Grenada for quite a while, the homeland of his wife, Ivy. He also lived in Trinidad and Tobago, where he was a part of the political affairs in Trinidad and Tobago. In 1950, Joshua contested the Trinidad and Tobago general election, where he unsuccessfully ran for the San Fernando seat. Dr. Eric Williams and George Charles are also two Vincentians who were part of the Trinidad and Tobago electoral scene. In 1956, Dr. Eric Williams and George Charles won their respective seats in the Trinidad and Tobago 1956 general election. We also know Eric Eustace Williams is considered the father of independence. He led Trinidad and Tobago into independence on the 31st of August 1962, and on the 1st of August 1976, he led Trinidad and Tobago into acquiring republic status. By this time, Joshua had reached his maximum potential in pushing St. Vincent forward. His regional exposure and experience could only take him so far, and it have took him as far as he can go. When the Honorable Ebenezer Theodore Joshua headed the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as chief minister, we saw him and the opposition leader, Milton Cato, came together, work in unison for the benefit of the people. At this stage of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' political history, Milton Cato was the best man for the job. The Honorable Theodore Joshua's regional exposure could only take him and the island thus far. Milton Cato's military training, service, and deployment to countries like France, Germany, Belgium, and Holland exposed Cato to the many nuances that help him to understand government and the proper administration of government, which was instrumental in taking St. Vincent and the Grenadines into another era of the country's history. 2 years later, in 1967, the roles were reversed. Now, the Honorable Milton Cato was chief minister, and Ebenezer Theodore Joshua was the leader of the opposition. Let us consult the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Government Gazette, Volume 100, number 34, which was published on the 30th of May, 1967. It says, it is notified by public information that the administrator, by virtue of the St. Vincent Constitution Order in Council, 1959, has appointed the Honorable Robert Milton Cato as Chief Minister. Milton Cato realized how little authority the Chief Minister of Head of Government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has. He also realized how little authority the combined parliament acting in unison has. Even when the government and the opposition voted unanimously for the repeal of the shaker prohibition regulation, they were unable to repeal that law. Immediately, it was Cato's intention to go in pursuit of statehood, which will put more authority in the hands of the parliament and take the micromanagement authority of the governor, who will look out for the interests of the crown. The Honorable Milton Cato was deliberate in his planning and in the execution of his plans. He firmly understood the task ahead of him. He had to prove to the crown that people are responsible enough to make responsible and prudent decisions in administration of the affairs of the islands and the island resources. With a full understanding of the task ahead of him, the Honorable Milton Cato administration were prudent in the way they conduct the affairs of business and the management of the resources of the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. After 2.5 years of his prudent governance of the affairs of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in 1969, the Honorable Milton Cato petitioned the Crown for statehood. After a review of the records and the manner in which he had been managing the affairs of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Crown had no choice but to bestow upon St. Vincent and the Grenadines associate statehood on October the 27th, 1969. Statehood took away the overriding micromanaging power of the governor, who looked out for the interests of the Crown, and gave more authority to the Parliament of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My name is Chief Strongblood, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the diaspora machismo.